Most of the snow is behind us, but the impact of the wintry weather is still being felt on the roads. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Roughly 30 centimeters or a foot of snow has fallen on Thunder Bay since Sunday night, and there's still a bit more on the way. The aftermath of the big storm impacted schools and school buses once again today.
Fortunately, the snow appears to be tapering off, giving city road crews a chance to catch up and offering hope that things will be back to normal soon. According to Environment Canada, between 27 and 32 centimeters of snowfall was measured at stations around the city between Sunday night and this morning. Rural public schools were closed again today for the third day in a row, along with rural buses. And for the first time all winter, all of the city school buses were canceled as well. The three-day accumulation of snow has left many residential streets in poor conditions, as city plows have been focusing on keeping main arteries clear. Student Transportation Services Manager Craig Murphy says before the storm hit, they were on track to get through the winter with 0 bus cancellations.
Yesterday afternoon, we had several buses have troubles getting stuck in the city. They were fortunately able to free themselves, but it did raise some concerns about the quality of the roads. And so this morning we were out between 4:30 and 5:30 driving the city to assess the situation. The city Thunder Bay road crews were doing a great job. They cleared most of the major arterial roads. Looks fantastic. Unfortunately, the side streets where our city buses spend 90% of their time picking up children were still quite messy.
City road crews aim to have all residential streets cleared by the end of the day tomorrow. Murphy is optimistic that school buses in town will be back on the road in the morning, but he notes rural bus routes may take a bit longer.
All of the main highways in the Northwest are now open again following that major storm after multiple closures over the past 2 days. But a secondary highway had to be shut down today after a snowplow collided with a pickup truck. It happened this morning on Highway 599 between Ignace and Pickle Lake. The pickup flipped onto its roof. OPP say the extent of any injuries is unknown at this point. The highway was closed in both directions while officers investigated. Separately, another snowplow got stuck in the ditch on Highway 102 this morning, right in front of Wildwood Variety. There was also at least 2 transport crashes yesterday during the storm. This rig flipped over on the highway near Chappaqua, and another transport went off Highway 17 between Kenora and Vermilion Bay. OPP say there were no injuries and no charges have been laid in either incident.
The Thunder Bay Police Service added 3 new constables to the force this afternoon. The cadets were sworn in at the city courthouse and will officially start their careers as police officers. The courtroom was filled with friends and family as Brooke Finnegan, Callum Kennedy, and Edwin Otero were welcomed to the force after a lot of hard work to get where they are today. During the ceremony, the judge and longtime serving police officers offered kind words and congratulations to the graduates before they signed the oath and received their official Thunder Bay Police badges from Chief Darcy Fleury. Finnegan says she's excited to make a positive impact on the community.
Like I said, it's a big opportunity. It also comes with having mutual respect for the community and being able to give back to the community, which is a big reason why I decided on this job. I was a nurse before, so being able to give back to the community is huge to me and something that I hope to bring into this career.
Really proud of their achievements. This is the first step of a long process in the careers, and I'm sure they're going to do really well as they go along and continue to develop as officers, and looking forward to see how they do in the next few years.
Chief Fleury adds the next batch of graduating cadets this summer will bring another 4 or 5 new constables to the force.
The Ontario government unveiled the biggest budget in the province's history yesterday, including more than $200 billion in spending.
That big spending also comes with a $3 billion deficit. As Siobhan Morris tells us, opposition leaders say the government is being fiscally irresponsible.
It may have been the biggest spending budget in Ontario history, with more than $214 billion out the door. But the opposition says it delivers less with a bigger price tag.
These so-called prudent fiscal managers achieved the impossible. They turned a $200 million surplus into a $10 billion deficit in just 12 months.
The finance minister points to uncertainty in the global economy, pressure from high interest rates. In an environment like that,
you have 2 choices. You could cut spending and put on the brakes, or you could keep going. Well, Mr. Speaker, this government chooses to keep going.
The NDP says the spending plan falls short on education, childcare, and on connecting Ontarians to health care.
Why has the Premier spent so much more but failed to address our doctor shortage?
Mr. Speaker, I thought we handed out copies of the budget to the opposition yesterday.
Talking up funding increases the last few years, including a commitment of more than $500 million in this budget spread over 3 years.
And where does that money go? Another investment in primary care so that 600,000 more patients can have health care in this province.
The opposition also hammered the government for a lack of new measures to address the high cost of living right now. The finance minister pointed to measures that predate this budget, like the gas tax cut and eliminating double fares on transit. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
A 28-year-old man from Medicine Hat, Alberta, has been charged with theft and fleeing police. He allegedly stole a vehicle and also stole gas in White River. Marathon OPP initially spotted the vehicle on Highway 17 just before 9:30 yesterday morning. Nipigon and Scriber OPP officers had to deploy a spike belt on the highway near Jackfish Lake to stop the vehicle. That's when the accused tried to flee, but was ultimately arrested. He appeared in court in Thunder Bay today.
CN Rail has made a big donation to the Cinema 5 skate park in Thunder Bay. The railway's new partnership was announced yesterday at the skateboarding and BMX facility on Cumberland Street. CN donated $30,000 from its fund that supports First Nations youth and community development initiatives. The railway's Indigenous Relations Manager, Jennifer Jerome, says the investment marks one of the many milestones to come to help foster inclusivity in Thunder Bay and the surrounding area. The indoor skate park provides a safe and supportive space. It also aims to promote cultural diversity and positive mental health by building meaningful relationships among the young people who come there.
Involvement financially and also just overall support is one of our core pillars at CN, and having a safe space for Indigenous youth, or all youth in fact, in the Thunder Bay area is obviously a great need, and it's something that we want to be part of, and that's why we're here today.
So this is just a great announcement today for us. This is a lot. You know, $30,000 is a big deal for an organization like Cinema 5 Skate Park and the youth programs that we do. Every little bit helps, and CN's commitment to youth and Indigenous youth is huge for us, right? Because they're a great partner. We want to work with them long term, obviously, and there's nothing better than people who understand the importance of getting kids out active in a positive environment.
The funding from CN is specifically for the skate park's Indigenous Youth Outreach program.
With exam season in full swing, some students at Lakehead University got a chance to relieve their stress and get some payback on their professors.
16 faculty members volunteered for the school's Pie Aov event today. As Joe Sadowski tells us, it's all for a good cause.
Exam season can be a messy time for students, so these Lakehead learners didn't waste the opportunity to get a little bit of revenge on their professors.
Absolutely. I think that it just kind of, university is that difficult relationship between your prof and the student sometimes, where it's not as close and it's not as connected, and we don't get to see a lot of our profs' personalities in some ways. So I think this is like the perfect way for people to joke around with their profs and have more fun and really get to see who they are too, because sometimes they want to have fun with us too, even though maybe we don't believe that sometimes.
Students were charged $5 per pie, with most of the proceeds going to LU's Food Resource Center. Event organizer Brandon Reithus says it's important that post-secondary students have access to healthy food.
So we chose the Food Resource Center here at Lakehead because we've seen that lots of students are suffering from food insecurity. So we want to help out, give them more options and the funding to be able to help students out.
Yeah, it's just it's great for them to be able to raise some money to help different people that are struggling with different things, whether it's food insecurity or whether it's mental health issues or any of the other initiatives. Just a great cause to help support the Lakehead University students and our community.
It gives back directly to the students here. I think that's huge, especially with the population that has really gone up and people that deal with food scarcity. I think it's awesome that we're giving it back, again, directly to those students to help them.
If you know me, you know I'm a sucker for a good cause, and well, Here goes nothing. Joe Sadowski, go ahead. TBT News.
A lot of people down in our newsroom want to throw a pie in Joe's face. No good cause needed there. It's a good cause in and of itself. Well, local children will once again have the chance to load up their baskets with chocolate-filled eggs as the Hill City Kinsmen prepare to host their annual Easter egg hunt this Friday. It's happening from 11 to 1 at the Slovak Legion. There will be 4 age groups, 3 and under, 4 to 5, 6 to 7, and 8 and older. Around 14,000 plastic eggs filled with chocolate and other prizes will be up for grabs. Families will also get to meet and take pictures with the Easter Bunny. Event co-chair Chris Holland says they love bringing the Easter egg hunt to the community every year.
We've been doing this for years. This is my first year as the co-chair. So it's just great to see the kids out there collecting eggs, their smiles on their faces. The Kinsmen are very charity-oriented or charitable-oriented, so we like to do events where we're helping out the city. And with the kids, obviously, we're offering a free event so they can come out, get some candy, meet with the Easter Bunny, and just have a good time.
Holland encourages families to bring their own baskets on Friday and arrive early as the event starts at 11 a.m. sharp.
While many people aren't happy about all the snow we've gotten over the past few days, local skiers are loving it.
Loch Lomond and Mount Baldy now have more natural snow than they had all winter, and the 2 biggest cross-country ski areas, Lappy and Camview, were both able to reopen after closing 3 weeks ago. Jonathan Wilson has more.
Now that we got some snow late in the season, I guess it's better than nothing.
Camview Nordic Centre is in prime condition for the first time this season, with 15 kilometres of trails open as of Wednesday. The cross-country ski areas in town had to close on March 5th after a lack of snow, followed by rain, made the trails unusable. But it's a different story now, after more than a foot of snow fell since Sunday night.
Every year it seems to snow, fairly good at this time of the year. It's been like that for the past couple of years. It's just the way it is.
The skiers we spoke to say this was a pleasant return to the sport they love after a historically short season this past winter.
See ya.
See ya.
Well, secretly, I love it. Most people don't want to shovel, but it was great today. I think it was probably better today than it was all winter.
Probably got another 5 days of skiing out of this sale, like you got enough base. Yeah. Should be good.
So I'm just going to keep grooming until we run out of snow.
And it's a similar story at the local ski hills, as officials at Loch Lomond and Mount Baldy are preparing for a busy Easter long weekend. Loch Lomond had a few skiers out for a private rental on Wednesday to try out the fresh powder. Guest Services Manager Laura Woodbeck says they've been praying for snow all winter, and they finally got a lot of it.
Thank you, Mother Nature, for finally giving us a ski year. We have seen more smiles and more phone calls and more excited people just by having more snow than we have had all season long.
Loch Lomond had previously been able to open only 6 of their ski runs this winter due to the lack of snow, but now all of their runs are available for the first time this season, including the Chicken and the Jolly Giant.
Oh, it's been a rough winter, but it's wicked to see it kind of prolong itself here, and will help definitely in the spring. And I think everyone out here today is really enjoying it and having a blast.
Desperately needed. We're all just aching for it, so incredible to get out here and get after it. Yeah, it's a blast.
And this has been an amazing, fortunate situation for us. And hope everyone comes out and enjoys this blessing.
Well, Loch Lomond and Baldy, with all this snow, they say they'll be open all weekend, this Easter long weekend, and probably the next few weekends after that, as long as the snow sticks around. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
Yeah, a lot of skiers and snowboarders very happy about this late dump of snow that we've gotten. Fiona, just please tell me it's over. That's enough. We have enough of it now.
I have a sneaking suspicion you've lost your sense of humor about the situation
This morning I have, as I was shoveling the driveway for the 6th time, yeah.
Yeah, and I can understand that. You heard we had a lot of snow, and we are seeing the end. It is in sight. It's not there yet, but it is in sight. We had periods of light snow throughout the day. We started off with a low of -11, wind chills of -18 overnight, and warmed up to -7 and a wind chill of -14. So it's definitely a cooler day, and that's with winds from the west 16 to 35 kilometers per hour. Now, as you can see, this system, this Colorado low that's made life so frustrating for some and thrilling for others, continued to cycle through much of northwestern Ontario and another portion on the eastern shores of Lake Superior. So pretty much everyone got a little taste of it again today, but it's not quite done. So at this hour, we've got light snow pretty much throughout northwestern Ontario. It is a little bit warmer, but still below the freezing mark. In Sault Ste. Marie, wind chills are hovering at about -8. Wawa's a bit cooler at -4, then you hit -6 in Marathon, then -9 in Greenstone. Little pocket of slightly cooler conditions in Armstrong, Upsala, Sioux Lookout, and of course up into Pickle Lake. And then it warms back up into the single digits again, -8, -9 for Red Lake, and down through Fort Frances. Wind chills throughout this region, though, are hovering pretty consistently between about -15 and -17. So not a lot of variability at this time. In the city of Thunder Bay tonight, it was a little bit cooler today. The good news is it's going to stay fairly mild. It's only going to drop a couple of degrees, with wind chills hitting -13, with another couple of centimeters on the way and winds 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. It's not going to be quite done just yet, Ryan. I'm going to admit it. We could see a few more flurries tomorrow morning, but it will then taper off. So just be prepared. You might have to do just a little bit more shoveling, but not a lot.
Oh, I got some words for you up here. All right, thank you very much, Fiona. I suppose I can deal with a little bit more. All right, no easy transition to the top international story now that we're monitoring. It continues to be the bridge that collapsed in Baltimore and the rescue effort for those 6 missing construction workers has now turned into a recovery mission. We'll have details on that and more as your news hour continues right after the break.
We will be looking for any sort of electronics, documentation. We will want to take pictures. We will want to look at the engine room of the vessel.